Cystic fibrosis was first recognized as a disease in 1938, and at that time, most babies diagnosed with the disorder died before their first birthday. Across the next decade, progress was made, but by the 1950s, people with CF were living longer but rarely made it past early childhood. And while things started to improve by the 1980s, with people living into their mid to late 20s, it was not until the discovery of the CFTR gene in 1989 that we began to see a turning point. Do you know anyone who suffers from cystic fibrosis? Do you know what it is and what causes it? Cystic fibrosis is caused by a single protein that does not work properly. More specifically, it is caused by a mutation in an ion channel in the cell membrane. In people with cystic fibrosis, the channel is unable to transport chloride ions to the outside of the cell. The high concentration of chloride ions inside cells means that water does not leave those cells via osmosis. Less water than normal leaving the cells causes the mucus that lubricates and protects many organs and tissues to thicken, begin to disrupt the function of the epithelium, a layer of tissue that lines some organs. The thickened mucus produced by this tissue cannot be easily removed, so organs like the trachea and glands that produce hormones and enzymes can become obstructed. This can cause many different symptoms depending on the organ affected. For example, if digestive glands are blocked, certain enzymes cannot reach the intestines, preventing the digestion of some foods. Organ dysfunction leads to symptoms that affect entire body systems. In the respiratory system airways, including the sinuses, trachea, and bronchi, the thickened mucus can build up, and bacteria that is normally cleared from the lungs remains in the thickened mucus, causing major respiratory issues, including trouble breathing. The skin is another organ that can be affected by cystic fibrosis. The skin now produces much saltier sweat because the glands that produce sweat are unable to function properly. Under normal conditions, sweat is produced in a gland and passes through a sweat duct to the skin. Salt, in the form of sodium chloride, and water in the sweat are reabsorbed in the duct. In people who have cystic fibrosis, the malfunctioning protein does not allow the chloride in the sweat to enter the cells in the sweat duct. This also prevents the sodium from entering the duct as well. Today, through research efforts, early diagnosis, drug protocol, and technology, cystic fibrosis patients are looking at a longer life expectancy than those in the 1930s and 50s. Do you have any ideas about how to fight or cure cystic fibrosis?